Assalamu alaikum all. Today I'm going to be talking about why halal cash is king. Now I talk about the importance of investing a lot in this video, and how it's important to invest your money and not just leave it in a bank account where it's going to be sort of pretty much losing value. However, I really want to kind of talk about why it's important to have some amount of cash ready to go in case you need it. I saw a video by Ty Kim recently that kind of explained it really well as well, and I've kind of linked that in the description. Definitely recommend watching that as well. And then this is a very important lesson for anyone that wants to invest, for Muslims as well, just to help invest, build our wealth, and kind of help protect it as well. And I'm going to go into that in today's video. So yeah, just want to say welcome to Simple Muslim Money, which is all about simple halal investing and personal finance for Muslims. Now, life can throw up unexpected expenses all the time, like my boiler went, I had to replace that suddenly, my car, my BMW, I talk about that. I replaced it with a Lexus now. And then I saw this stat that 60% of US workers cannot handle an unexpected expense of $500. So if they had the expense like that come in, that could just totally throw the whole world apart. And it's really important to have an emergency fund, and it's something Dave Ramsey talks a lot about, and it's one of the first things we want to do is kind of build that emergency fund to help us during those times where something unexpected happens. And as Ty Kim says, is that cash will give you that cushion just to kind of help you through these bumps in the road. And yeah, and another thing I want to talk about, like for example, my car insurance just went up again, and it's gone up by £250. So originally I was paying about $750, and now it's gone to $1,000. It's getting crazy. And I'm like in my 40s now. Me and my wife are both in the car. We both don't have any points, anything like that. So it just shows you like the cost of things are going up as well. And I feel like it's quite important to have some extra money, just because you might be doing something that's planned. For example, I don't know, your travel costs might suddenly go up, or the petrol prices have gone up, something like that. I'm speaking to a local builder who's just doing one of my neighbours' houses, and we just had the cost of doing building works, like he's doing like an extension at the back of the house, has just gone up. Like you need to put all this extra insulation in, there's lots more extra regulations, and yeah, this cost has just gone up a lot, especially since the COVID sort of time. And one of the questions that keeps coming up and you keep seeing a lot is, well, having cash just sitting around affects my investing? And the most important thing with investing is that you want to keep your cash in there, and but when these unexpected costs come out, there needs to be a way to handle it quite quickly. So it's really important to have some cash in liquid form ready to go. So for example, in the case of my boiler, I can't live in this cold house and no hot water, so I had to get that fixed ASAP. And dipping into my investments, dipping money out, putting money back in, that there could be fees and stuff involved. It's just like hassle and not something I want to do. So it's important to have that cash. And with investing, one of the most important things is just to stay in the game. So no matter what happens, bumps and roads that come along in your life. So for example, with this car issue, this boiler issue, I had like a roof issue as well that cost £4,000, just like unexpected. Like with all of these things that come across in life, I need to be able to kind of handle those, but leave my investments alone so that they can grow. If I'm constantly dipping in and out of them, then I'm just going to get this sporadic sort of investment going on. And Morgan Housel, who's the author of this book called The Psychology of Money, has this great quote about this. It says, getting wealthy is not a battle of the best returns, it's a battle of staying in the game. So it's all about, making sure the money stays there, stays invested, and you're not constantly dipping in and out of it. And there's a good quote that I hear a lot of people talk about, like some of the best investors are people that have died, so they're not mucking around with their investments, or people that have forgot about their investments. So yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, is almost like kind of just leave my investments and pretend that money doesn't even exist, and I have to just focus on whatever money that I do have. And also there was a stage where I was just investing too much and not saving enough, or just putting money would come in and automatically kind of get invested. And yeah, I realized that was a bit risky, and also from a management point of view as well, it's like hassle. And yeah, I had to sort of tone my investments down, which I'm doing at the moment. I'm trying to build up about 6 months worth of expenses because I really want like a good cushion. The other thing about having cash is that you avoid debt as well. So, debt and loans and things like that are just so easy at the moment. Like you could get a credit card, you could easily, I get like emails and adverts coming up saying, oh yeah, I've been pre-approved for a loan of 10,000, 20,000. If I take that loan out, that can cause me massive issues. I have to worry about paying it back, and it causes a lot of stress as well, stays in your mind. And, by not having that debt definitely helps me sleep better at night. And something like that is just priceless. And like having cash as well also is like a good cushion from the loss of a job. So, I was working at a company once and I got made redundant, which in the UK means they kind of let you go. But because of certain rules and stuff like that, I got a bit of a financial package. But also on top of that, at that point in my life, I did fortunately have a good emergency fund, so that kind of helped ease the stress of that. But nevertheless, it was still very stressful to lose my job and thinking about what I'm going to do next as well. It was actually a really good job that I really enjoyed as well. So it was quite difficult going through that process, but it would have been a lot worse if I didn't have any cash and stuff. I would have felt like I'd have to jump into the next job straight away. It just kind of gave me that time just to think. Another thing about cash is it's a lot easier to manage and think about. When I have real cash, I kind of feel it more. I'm more aware of it. I'm like, I can see the money going down, my balance going down in my account as well. With a credit card, it's hard. Like, the money goes out of the credit card and then you get billed for it and then you don't pay for it another month again. And this is just, I wish I had seen this earlier. And I don't use credit cards at all unless I really have to. Like, you get certain protections, or sometimes you go to hotels and stuff like that, you have to use it. But yeah, I don't use them at all. I don't care about points or anything like that. And a lot of people talk about points and things like that. And I don't honestly want to get involved with that at all as well. And yeah, I just remember when I had a credit card, like I'd be buying these small purchases that I don't even think about. Like I wanted to buy this massage gun, and back in the day I would have just put it on a credit card, and then I would have bought something else again. And these sort of little purchases add up. And there was at one point where I had the 5k credit card debt loan, which I have no idea how I built it. I was just buying all these random bits and pieces, and it was just kind of floating along month to month. So what I did was I just paid it off, stopped using the credit card, and I'm just kind of using a debit card now. Another really good thing about using cash is easier to budget as well. When you have your spreadsheets and stuff like that, you get a much better picture of where your money really is. Otherwise, you kind of, okay, I've got this debt to the credit card loan company, but my balance is really high at the moment, so this much needs to go out of my balance. Yeah, I really hated that. And I just so glad I don't use my credit card anymore. Another thing I want to talk about is, where do you hold your cash? And in the UK, and I'm sure in other parts of the world as well, you can get Islamic sort of saving products. So a really good thing to do in the UK is there's ISAs, so individual saving accounts, which have like benefits. And these Islamic saving accounts give you profit sharing as opposed to interest. And I kind of put my money into those. But the important thing is, and this is more important thing than however much profit or whatever they give back to, is that money can be pulled out at any time. So I have that money as in liquid form. So it means I could just pull it out whenever I want, and it's ready to go, and I could use it on whatever expense I need to. So I don't want to put it into some of these savings accounts or products where you have to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years, because that kind of defeats the whole point of having this cash and having it readily accessible. Like if I've got money that I can put away for a long time, then I'm just going to invest it. I'm not going to have it as cash. So halal cash is king. I hope these kind of facts can probably help you. They definitely help me. And also just want to say thank you for watching. And if you've enjoyed this video, please smash that like button, as it really helps.